Congresswoman Lofgren, your reaction to this Washington Post reporting tonight?
Well, it's in keeping with many of the other reports we've had about the president's efforts to try and subvert the election, frankly. And we will certainly, I'm sure, and the Select Committee want to know more about that.
You're on the January 6th committee that held the hearing yesterday. You're investigating what led up to the attack on the Capitol, as well as everything that happened that day. But the question of what led up to it is rather broad, isn't it? It's not exactly clear where that boundary is. Were these phone calls to the Attorney General part of what led up to what happened on January 6th?
Well, we'll find out. We're going to follow the facts where they lead us. As one of the officers said yesterday, a hitman was sent. We need to find out who sent the hitman. How did this happen? How was it organized? What motivated it? Who funded it? And the like. And so we will have a broad inquiry and follow the facts and find the truth.
There is some written testimony now that we're looking at tonight that former acting Attorney General Rosen gave to Congress in May, and it now just has a lot more between the lines as we read it. This is what he said in writing. During my tenure, no special prosecutors were appointed, whether for election fraud or otherwise. No public statements were made questioning the election. No letters were sent to state officials seeking to overturn the election results. And no Department of Justice court actions or filings were submitted seeking to overturn election results. And as we read that now, we are left to wonder, are those the specific things that Donald Trump asked him to do every day, and he's putting in writing that he didn't do them without, at that point anyway, telling us that those were actually being requested of him all the time?
Well, we'll find out the answer to that. Those statements, it's like, well, of course not, because none were warranted. But perhaps it was, as you suggested, really an outline of what he was refusing to do at the president's request. Rather than speculate, we will find out the answer. I also, as you know, today we had a hearing in the House Administration Committee, which I chair. Another aspect of the violence that is being used to try to subvert our system of democracy, and that is the violence that's being directed at regular election officials who are being threatened with guns. We heard from the local election official in Maricopa County, who described a scene that was quite similar to January 6th, except they didn't actually invade the counting center. So we have a pattern here of subversion of the electoral system that we need to take very seriously.
And the Republican legislatures, including Georgia's, for example, and Texas, have been trying to formalize into their state laws what Donald Trump was trying to do over the phone with the Attorney General by basically being able to change the outcome after the vote count. That's what they're trying to put into some of these laws. Your hearing today was addressing some of that.
Yes, we have a bill that would preclude some of what these states are doing to replace the local election officials who are, just counting the ballots. I mean, this has not been something that has been high profile. This has been a boring activity for centuries where you just count the ballots. Now, partisans are seeking, apparently, to take over this function and to skew the results. We can't let that happen, and this bill would prevent it. We had a hearing today. It was very helpful, but chilling as well, because although the registrars and election officials didn't engage in hand-to-hand combat like our brave officers testified about yesterday, they're facing off with armed militants who are seeking to subvert the electoral process. We can't let that happen.